Within the borders of Albion, the residents of this grand kingdom populate and grow in the various surroundings and climates. In some areas, there are fairly new communities attempting to start a new life for themselves away from the hustle and bustle of Albion's larger cities. Today, we look at one of them in the lore behind Silverpines. Located near to the affluent region of Millfields and the luscious Brightwood Forest, the Silverpines Forest spans miles and is home to various fauna and flora, with various mushrooms, flowers, and dense forestry surrounding the area. The wolves and Balverines of the region were able to survive on what the forest could offer, as well as the unfortunate travellers and traders that would attempt to pass through, only becoming a meal for the creatures. Within the forest, members of other regions moved together and began to build a community using the surrounding forest to create buildings and walls. While the humans had begun to construct a new home for themselves, the creatures of the forest became aware of their presence and attacked, killing many of the residents, enough to build a graveyard just beyond the hamlet's walls. Aware that the Balverines were weak to silver, the residents began to burn nitrate silver torches at the entrance of the town to keep them away, as well as having quick access to weaponry to defend themselves against the wolves able to pass the torches without death. As many had died horrific deaths in the area, the ghosts of these poor souls that were unable to resolve their issues, over time, lost their humanity and became wisps. With this, the hamlet of Silverpines had a new creature to defend themselves against: Hollowmen. While unexplored completely during this time, the forest appeared to have once been inhabited by the residents of the Old Kingdom before its destruction. Scattered throughout the region, crumbled ruins display where the buildings and architecture had once stood. One of these ruins lies within a sunken clearing surrounded by the tall pillars that had once held this place. While unknown what this structure had once been used for, now the area bred malice and death coming from the unfortunate prey of the creatures of the forest, leaving the ground bloodstained. Over the years of the forest becoming a more dangerous environment for those that could not handle themselves in combat, many travellers died, leaving gold, emeralds, rubies, and even silver keys just waiting to be discovered by a capable adventurer. As the community grew, they were able to construct 5 houses for the small population surrounding a large central tree. With a place to sleep, the residents began to work on a mine, while another resident opened a general goods store, the warehouse. With these in place, Silverpines became a part of the economic system of Albion. Inside of the mine, the workers allied themselves with Reaver Industries to sell their materials gathered from the land. With the hamlet succeeding, a carpenter went beyond the walls of the community and travelled deeper into the forest where he created a cabin. With this, he also helped towards the economy by cutting down trees in the region. As a skilled worker, word of his ability spread across Albion. From here, many from various regions wanted him to aid them in their construction ventures. While the forest surrounding his cabin was unsafe to the regular passerby, the carpenter kept his cabin well stocked with weapons and ammo to defend himself against any attacks on his claimed land. As a recognised part of the kingdom, a small army regiment entered the forest and helped defend the community. While successful at first, some members of this unit befriended a wolf that lived in the forest. The soldiers named him Seth and cared for him. In response, Seth alerted the soldiers to a weapon hidden away in a crypt under the graveyard of Silverpines, the Wolfsbane. Although they were able to initially keep Seth's existence a secret from the captain of the unit, he later discovered their secret and ordered the unit to shoot the wolf. By committing this action, a curse was formed. From here, their captain ordered the unit to cut up the wolf's body and bury it in 4 different areas of the forest. It is believed that as each soldier disposed of their part of the wolf, the curse took them and forced them to relive the moments just before their death. One stuck in a wisp form, another drowning, the third eternally digging, and the fourth permanently mining. Within the tomb, The remainder of the unit, along with the captain, also fell to the curse, where they would then stay in ghost form, simply waiting to stop anyone taking the Wolfsbane. With the unit's mysterious disappearance, the guard presence became non-existent, leaving the residents of Silverpine to continue to fend for themselves. Within the hamlet, the residents became close and helped each other in any way that they could. While safe inside of the walls, the community was still surrounded by the terrain of the forest that overlooked the town, and so although the Balverine could not enter, they could still observe from above and plot. With no guards to protect them, the residents relied on each other to keep guard and maintain the burning of the silver nitrate torches. One day, a man named Connor was put on duty, but during his shift, he fell asleep. For this mistake, the community exiled him to the forest, believing that this one mistake could have allowed the possibility of the Balverine entering the town and killing everyone. Exiled to the forest, Connor vowed vengeance and safely made it to Millfields, where he stole an artifact that had the power to turn him into a white Balverine and control the rest of the Balverine in the area. Now with an army of Balverine under his control, he waited for someone to cross his path that he could manipulate into extinguishing the torches that kept the town safe. In Bowerstone, after Logan lost his throne and was replaced by his younger sibling, the new ruler entered Silverpines, searching for the statue that Connor had stolen from Millfields, requiring it to be sold for a vast amount to help aid the kingdom in an upcoming battle. After meeting Connor, the hero ruler was told that they could have the statue if they would do the small task of extinguishing the silver nitrate torches and condemn the community to Connor's vengeance. In one reality, the ruler agreed to Connor's terms and destroyed the torches, leaving the residents of the community to a vicious death at the hands of the Balverine. From here, the Balverine shifted into human form and resided within the town. In another reality, the hero declined the proposal and wiped out the Balverine under Connor's control. After this, the hero took the statue from Connor's corpse. Before leaving the forest, the hero came across the cursed soldiers, and following their instructions, the ruler discovered the parts of the wolf and brought them to an ancient altar close to the graveyard. Using this altar, the hero brought back Seth in ghost form, where the hero was led to the Wolfsbane sword. After acquiring the sword, the hero killed the ghosts guarding the crypt, shattering the curse held by the ancient altar and freeing the trapped soldiers that had died following the orders of their corrupt captain. The hero later came back to the forest to meet with the carpenter and requested his help in building a new community in the safer region of Driftwood. Known to those around Albion as the small hamlet in a dangerous forest living in constant fear of Balverine attacks, it is unknown what became of this small community after the age of industry. I ask Hero, if you could live in this stunning forest but at the continuous threat of death from the creatures that reside within, would you? The theory: Balverines could have ruled Albion. Here we'll be trying out something new where I'll take a theory about the Fable universe and try to attempt to make sense of it using facts and lore from Albion. If you have any theories for future videos, let me know. Balverines could have ruled Albion. Now, this theory came from wandering around Silverpines and just generally exploring how Balverines have evolved over the years. I think that it would have been an amazing gameplay mechanic to have Balverines secretly be a part of human regions without anyone knowing their true form. I found an interview with Lionhead Studios' old art director John McCormack where he said that Fable 4 would have been grittier than the previous games in the series. He specifically mentions that they pitched the idea that Jack the Ripper was a Balverine in disguise hunting people. We know that Bowerstone is basically London, and so it would have been really interesting to hunt down the Balverine in an even bigger Bowerstone in the Fable that we didn't get. I've linked the interview below. He also goes into a little bit of detail on how Microsoft shot them down on multiple ideas and asked them to work on games that they didn't want to create, The Journey and Fable Legends. With the inspiration out the way, let's move on to point 1. Now Connor steals an artifact from the wealthy citizen in Millfields. After doing research, I couldn't find anything behind the legend that Connor speaks of when you go to Silverpines to get the artifact back. From what we do see of its use, Connor has used it to become a white Balverine and has the ability to control the Balverines around him. With this, if we were to go along the lines of a war between human and Balverine, this small faction in Silverpines could easily assimilate the humans into their race. From what we've seen in the game, only the residents of Silverpine use silver nitrate lanterns to keep the Balverine at bay. We can see that if the hero chooses to help the Balverine, Connor's Balverines become residents of the region in human form, and only appear Balverine when attacked. Now, what if under the control of Connor, the Balverine were then to move to other regions and simply blend in? They are pretty convincing as humans, and over the years, the Balverine have become seemingly equal in intelligence to the humans when they grasp the ability to appear as one of them. On to point 2, assimilation. With the Balverine able to move from town to town appearing as humans, they could easily infect others when in a closed environment, transforming them. I don't think it would be the hardest thing to do either. In Fable, the only reason the Balverines did not take over is because they lacked the intelligence, but now, with Connor leading them, they could potentially grow their race at an exponential speed. With each new Balverine created, they can then create another one and another one, just like a pyramid scheme, but not optional. While on assimilation, we do see in Fable 3 that Balverines are a part of the more affluent society, basically hiding in plain sight with Reaver at his parties. It would not be too difficult to get someone with power or reach, such as Reaver who could infect his workers, or even members of the Royal Army who have a reason to travel from town to town. The disease could spread extremely quickly without anyone noticing. On to point 3. With enough humans taken over by the Balverine curse, I think the Balverine could simply just show their true form after time. It takes a lot even for a hero to kill a Balverine, so surely at a point where the Balverine have taken over a general population, they could easily just appear as their true form and convert the rest. They are stronger than the humans. These Balverines could then live in a human form or in a Balverine form. We don't know if when a person is transformed, they become inherently evil, or whether the evil simply comes from what they've been told about Balverines. Maybe it could be a productive society where the new dominating race lived just as humans had, but now they're stronger. The new Balverines don't have to be evil. At the end of the day, it's natural selection, the stronger race wins. It feels kind of right that the humans would be replaced at one point. The Balverine are stronger, and now due to evolution, they're just as smart too. Closing thoughts. Now this theory does rest on the power of the artifact and Connor's ability to rule. How far does this artifact's influence spread? And another factor is how covert this operation would have to be. If the humans became aware of a Balverine uprising, then I'm sure that they would be putting silver into everything and burning those silver nitrate torches to eradicate the hidden Balverine in their towns. I understand that I may have just created a plan for any Balverine to overthrow a population, so if you are thinking of overthrowing humanity, please don't do that. There are probably tons of reasons why this wouldn't work that I've missed, so let me know. I think a storyline where the Balverine were intelligent and were aware of what they were would have been an amazing possibility to play with. Possibly a war between human and Balverine. Maybe the humans accepted the less dangerous ones into their society and they coexisted in peace. Out of all the species in Albion, I feel like this would have been the best one to play with. I hope Playground implements something like this though. What do you think? Do Balverines have the potential to overthrow humanity? I think yes, but the choice is yours to make. Do you think Balverine and human could coexist in peace? Let me know in the comments. Now hero, enjoy your day. Bye.